Alright, hello and welcome to Desert King's Falconry. For this video, I thought it would be a really good idea to go over some equipment that we use for our birds. This here is Luca. Luca is one of our amazing birds here. He's such an awesome animal to work with, but he needs some new anklets. Now, anklets are something that are always attached to the bird. They don't come off unless they need to be replaced. Luca's anklets are kind of getting a little worn out, so we are switching out these grommet anklets for grommet-less anklets. So first off, the type of leather that we use is kangaroo leather. It's thin, lightweight, it's really durable. It typically doesn't stretch, or at least doesn't stretch very much. Most other leathers will stretch in one direction, but not in another. So if you are using some sort of cowhide, you'll want to make sure that you are going to be cutting it in the direction which it doesn't stretch. Now, we aren't professional leather workers, but these are the tools that you need. You need at least a hole puncher, some sort of steel ruler, something to cut the leather with, like a box cutter or an X-Acto knife, and you'll need a pen. So these anklets are going to be for a male Harris's hawk. I don't like to make them too thick, so we are going to go with 1.5 centimeters in thickness. So after marking our 2 points of how thick our anklets are going to be, we are going to mark that edge so that it'll be nice and straight. After cleaning up one edge, we will then cut out the other edge and we will have a nice long strip of leather, which should be more than enough material to work with. Now here's where the pen comes in. I chose to use a pen that is roughly the same thickness as our Harris Hawk's legs. Out of convenience, I used a pen that happens to be the same size. So I'll wrap it around and I'll make a mark onto the leather that is relatively close to the pen. So right where that mark is, I'm going to go in and punch a hole. After that, I'm going to wrap it around again, and through the hole we just made, I will make a mark on the other side of the leather. Now, I'm not going to make a hole right on that mark. I'm actually going to do half a circle on one side and half a circle on the other. So far, it'll look like this. Now I need to make the hole that the jesses are going to go through. So I'll fold it in half, lining up the half circles and the hole that we punched earlier. I'll line them up. I like to put this hole about 1 centimeter away from the previous one. Once we punch a hole on one side, I fold it again, lining it up, make a mark on the other side, and punch another hole. And then we're going to cut off this portion of the anklet, and I will kind of round out the edges. You can do this in any way that you want. If you want it more boxy or more round, that's really up to you. There are specific leather tools out there to help give you the perfect circumference edge to that sort of thing. We aren't really going for it to look the best, but we still want it to function and be strong, and it will function in the same way. I like to use the anklet that we just made as a template for the other one to make sure that I have exact matching anklets. I'll round the edges on both of them, and then we've got a pair of fresh new anklets. The first thing I do is I will put some leather grease on it. You can find leather grease from pretty much any leather store or even on Amazon. You'll want to grease that up before putting it on the hawk. So here we are putting the new anklets on Luca. He is quite gentle. He doesn't try to grab me through this whole process. I'm lucky to be able to work with such an amazing bird. So I'm going to be using the pliers to pull one side of the leather anklet through that hole that is closer to the middle. So we'll yank that all the way through. Side with the two half circles are going to help hold the anklet in that place. That way it won't get too tight and it won't get too loose. Once those are in there, we will slide the jesses through and we can pull them through with the help of some pliers. In the future, if you are planning on switching the jesses out more often, you will probably want to make that jess hole a little bit bigger so that way you can switch them if you so choose. And now we do his right side just like we did the left side. Get him back on the glove and we'll cut off those old anklets that are still on his legs, and he's got a new fresh look. Anyway, I really hope that this is helpful to other falconers or other people who are working with birds of prey. This is just how we like to make our anklets. We've found that they work very, very well. If you've got a better way of doing anklets, please let us know your preferred method in the comments below, and we will see you next time.